Look, man, Larry, am I wrong for saying this? And shout out to everybody that's watching us at this moment. Am I wrong for saying that The Boys is one of the best things that we've seen on TV in the last 20 years? In the top 10.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the best shows. It really feels like, and I've read this before, that like the people over at Amazon Prime have given no pushback to the producers at all. And it feels like a show where you have the producers that say, we want to create the most crazy, outrageous, just thought-provocative show, that we can. And the producers, the executives over at Amazon Prime said, go for it. And just have had complete hands off, because they have done things that you would never expect that you would see on TV. They have taken things so far that you're left thinking, where else can they go? And then every episode they push it a little bit further, and you're just like, you're left just like, wow, these people are either just completely insane or some of the most amazing writers that have ever been in television.
Hey, man, being insane and being able to articulate that makes for good writing. But Larry, here's the thing, my brother. We have two competing sex scenes. You've got a lot of people thrashing these sex scenes. And one of these sex scenes, you've got a lot of people very upset. And the other one, you haven't heard people talk about it much, except for me. But some people the OSHA people was upset about that one. So, Larry, which sex scene invoked the most bipolarization? Was it Little Murder and Big Tweet bending over his big tweet hind parts? Or was it the Deep sticking it into every orifice on that octopus? And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you about an octopus. Each and every one of their little 8 tentacles has suckers on them. Then they got the big hole in the middle, and the Deep had all that on his penis. I'm talking, can't no woman compete with sucking the penis the way the octopus can. And the Deep wanted his boo thing to let the octopus in their bed. Larry, talk to me about that. Po octopus.
Man, I have to admit, man.
Let me show you the picture, Larry, because you know I wait for this. You know I live for this. Where's the picture at? Wait. Here we go. Po octopus.
Oh damn, man.
Larry,
that's just
it's already hard enough to go to your wife or significant other and be like, honey, I want to let a third in this relationship. Can you imagine walking into your wife's room right now, Larry, and telling her, I don't know what your favorite animal is. For the Deep, it's underwater things. But can you imagine, Larry, walking into your wife's bedroom and saying, honey, I got this pet octopus who I care about and can do some really freaky things, and she want to get in our bed. And Larry, did you see the octopus trying to take a tentacle and finger the woman?
It did. She jumped up out of there with a quickness. She was like, nope, can't do it. Nope, I'm done. That's it. I'm out. And I feel her. I mean, not only has he been running around cheating, but now he's trying to bring this chick into the room, and it's not even a human. Maybe for the Deep, I get it, because he communicates with all those animals, and so for him, they're more real for him, because he can communicate. She can't do that, and to her, it's just calamari, I guess that would be squid, but you know what I'm saying.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, my goodness, man. Somebody let me know if you done had sex with something out the water. And I literally mean out the water.
Please don't. If you have, keep it to yourself, please. Just no. We don't need to know that.
But Larry, for real, can't no woman outsuck a penis the way this octopus can. The octopus has suckers on all 8 of its tentacles. All of them.
I don't know nothing about that, and don't want
let me show you. Let me show you. The Deep gave us a lesson. Look at
that. This dude, man. This dude. I mean, I feel it. You got to get it. At some point, you have to get up and bounce out. You can't just deal with the foolishness forever. And she was like, "This is too much. This is a step This is a step beyond. This is the straw that broke the camel's back.
And Larry, he's an idiot.
Yeah, he really is.
She's the brains of this organization. He is an idiot. And this whole entire season, he's been fawning, wanting to fornicate with every octopus in the ocean. Because this ain't the first octopus.
No,
remember,
he got where...
made him eat the other octopus he had a hard on for.
Yeah, that was just terrible.
Oh,
that was terrible, man.
Oh man,
I ate him alive.
Ladies and gentlemen, golly, man, talk about sushi.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, we are here. We are going to do the review of The Boys. First, we'll say P-Valley for the end. Larry, there are only one more episode left, Larry, and I'm sad. Because
no, man, it felt like it took a long time for him to get back around with this one. I really wanted more episodes.
Not only that, but it was so good. It's not many shows that I look forward to every week. Like I'm just panting, I'm waiting. This was one of them. They pushed the envelope this year because we had no idea what was going to happen with Soulja Boy, Homelander. We knew that some of the boys was going to be taking temporary compound V. And for those of you that don't watch the show, this is a version of superheroes that if they could become political pawns, that's what you would get from these guys. And you have a group of regular people that want to take them down because they have too much power. And these group of regular people is what they call the boys. And it's made up of Butcher, Huey, Mother's Milk, Frenchie, and Kimiko.
Right.
And I guess Starlight too. She's in the group as well. Yeah. And so we didn't know how they was going to attack Homelander, but we found out a big revelation in this episode. And Larry, man. I got the clip. This is going to change everything.
Everything.
Everything. Here we go.
Turns out, Vogelbaum made a kid. Born spring 1981.
I have to admit, man, I didn't see that one coming. When they revealed that, I didn't see it coming.
Larry, that's when you know the writing is good as fuck.
Yeah,
that's when you know, because that one just came really out of left field. A lot of what was going on with Soulja Boy, and ladies and gentlemen, Soulja Boy is their version of a powered up Captain America. Yeah, that now has the power to somehow or another withdraw compound V serum from these superhero people and destroy them with some kind of Cyclops style cannon that comes out of his gut. Yeah. And this episode was basically about people who had loved ones taking care of loved ones. You saw Huey. He took care of Butcher. You saw Kimiko confess her love to Frenchie, and she wants to get her powers back, Larry, to save her family, which is now Frenchie. And then in a twist, a very weird twist, you saw Homelander saving Maeve because he wants to use her egg with his sperm to make a baby. And last but not least, we saw Starlight decide she wants to save Huey, as she saw in the documents that temporary compound V, you take 5 of them motherfuckers, it's like taking a whole bottle of aspirin. You're gonna die. Talk to me, Larry. That was a lot in this episode. Not to mention your boy Noir, Black Noir. Not to mention A-Train. Yeah. You know, they done gave A-Train. A-Train is still alive for those of you that want to know. They have given him the heart of the Blue Hawk that he killed. Larry, can you imagine you go kill a racist? You supposed to die. Yeah. They take his heart out and put it in you and then tell you to shut the hell up and play ball with the team.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that, man. I just don't know how I feel about that if I was him. Yeah. You know, that would be something terrible to have to deal with. I mean, I guess on one end, you're like, good, I'm glad the bastard's dead. Now I took from him what I needed. But on the other end, you like, I got this MFer's heart up in me. You know?
And damn, man. Heart. And Larry, are you liking how they've been able to weave current day politics into the story. It is amazing.
They have done an excellent job.
Basically, Homelander is a in-shape superhero version of Trump. He's got a lot of kid in him. He's got a lot of childlike perceptions of himself.
Yeah.
And his number one problem for why he really can't destroy and rule the world is his own damn ego.
Yeah.
And Starlight busted the whole organization, told him Homelander's a fraud. And guess what they did, Larry?
What they do?
They did what Fox News did. They went to the spin machine and started saying that Starlight is trafficking humans and going to use Kimco as an example. Kimco ain't trafficked, not by Starlight. Talk to me, Larry. This show is just unreal.
Yeah, that chick, that PR chick, she's like, what's her name? She's like that Huckabee chick. She's just up there telling every which lie from Friday. She's
Kaylee McEnany.
Yeah. She's just telling every which lie. But man, I'll tell you that that whole thing with Starlight and Homelander, if he just wants to, he could just take her out and just be like, you guys just spin it. I mean, he said the only reason why you're not dead is because of your fame. And I'm just like, when has that stopped him? So
that's what I mean, Larry. That's his ego. Yeah. The reason he's not taking her out because he's famous is because he's using her fame to boost his popularity, or else he would have took her out. Yeah. Now, I believe he might, Larry, would have took her out of that elevator had she not hurried up and pretended that she was live streaming.
Right. I think she actually was, though.
You think she really was live streaming?
I think she was live streaming. I think she was actually recording him.
Oh,
yeah. I think it's a problem because they were up there, and a little bit later they were talking about trying to do some damage control. So,
Now, what's up with Starlight, Larry? Last year we was all singing her praises about how hot she was. Now it looked like she need to go eat 3 neck bone sandwiches with a side of pork chop. Her head is big as hell on her little body. What's up, Larry?
I think it's that wide angle lens they put in front of her with that cell phone, that front facing camera.
Okay, well, let me give you another angle. That head looked like a balloon on some shoulders.
Yeah, I mean, she was kind of thick before. I don't know. Maybe, Hollywood does that with women. They force them to feel like they have to be extra skinny and lose all kinds of weight. And then they end up with those big head, little body looking people. So I hope that's not the case because she is looking pretty frail right there.
Could this be part of the stick, Larry? Could this be them saying that the compound V that they use in some of these individuals is causing them to deteriorate? Could she be stressed the hell out? Huey took compound V temporary to try to save her, and he wants to get Homelander. She does not like having to fake it to be Homelander's girlfriend, and now she done left the compound. Could she just be stressed out? And this is the way that they're casting this, Big Larry.
I mean, she's definitely stressed out, I'm sure. I mean, she rolled up into the tower to go get some real compound V for Kimiko. I'm surprised she didn't get some more temporary V. But, it's interesting that, Butcher, he had, when she told him that it was fatal, she gave him all the information, and Butcher for a moment thought like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and tell Huey the truth. But then I think he realized, he did the math in his head, and he said, wait, we've both already used this over the limit, over the terminal limit. We're dead no matter what. If I tell him this and he doesn't want to go forward, then we're just screwed. So I might as well tell him. I might as well not tell him anything. We can just keep using it, try and finish the job because we're going to die anyway. Because they've already both used it at least 3 times, and they said
it's
3 to 5 times it's They said between 3 and 5 times it's terminal. We know Huey's used it at least 3 times, and we know Butcher's used it once before Huey. So
Butcher's on 4.
So he's on 4, and they said between 3 and 5 times is terminal. So I mean, I think he just did the math and said we're dying no matter what because we both are over that limit. So let's just go ahead and get him.
Don't you think he still should have told Huey, or he's afraid if he tells Huey gonna say, If he tells Huey who called and told the information, that's when Huey probably wouldn't take it for his love of Starlight. But don't you think that he owes it to Huey to know the truth?
He should have told Huey, no doubt. But
yeah,
I mean, we know Butcher's sort of a piece of crap in that way. He's single-minded in his goals and his mission, which can be great. But when you're dealing with other people's lives, it could put people at risk. And the problem is, if you start putting people's lives at risk that you work with, the other people that you work with, when they see that, when they realize that, they may not be so quick to want to continue to work with you. And he needs all those people. There's not too many people in the world that believe that these soups are bad. There's not too many people in the world that have the motivation and the bravery to go after him. Huey's highly motivated because the woman that he loved was straight, just ran through, like literally ran through. She just was exploded on the curb, you know? So he has a motivation to do it. There's not a lot of people out there like that. And so everybody
apologized. A-Train apologized though, Larry.
He did it, and that messed Huey up a little bit. But I think that what he was feeling is so ingrained within him now. Like maybe if A-Train had apologized right after it happened, I think maybe Huey just would have been like, okay, it's an accident, it happened, it sucks, I'm gonna be sad, whatever, for a while. But I think that after all the cover-ups and all the other stuff I think his hatred for the soups has gotten so ingrained in who he is that apology, why it may have meant something between him and A-Train, it does. I don't think it's going to change. I don't think it changes anything between Huey and the way he feels about the soups.
I think that another motivating factor for Huey is that he's kind of looking up to Butcher as like a big brother at this point. Especially now that they are Compound V brothers, basically.
Right.
They and Mother's Milk and Frenchie, Kimco, and Starlight are very upset with them for taking it. So it's kind of like they just got each other's back at this point. Yeah. And they're trying to use Soulja Boy to do the bidding to take out the most powerful amongst them, which is Homelander. But Larry, you gotta know. You just gotta know. Somewhere lurking around out there is a more powerful suit somewhere. And they're writing him right now. If I was on that writing team, Larry, y'all better look out. Y'all better look out. Because in this episode and throughout the whole season, Soulja Boy has been going to get everybody on his team. He went and killed that cherry chick. He went after the twins. Yeah, and messed up the Hero-gasm party, and he wants to get Black Noir. And along the way, Butcher has said, "I'm going to help you get what you want. You help me get rid of Homelander." And so he's agreed to it a little bit. Right. So in this episode, they're going after. I'm going to call the dude Mindbender, because if you look him in his eyes, he gets in your mind, puts you to sleep, and you just die of starvation because you don't wake up. Yeah. Right. This is when we really learned how much Huey cares for Butcher. He was about to fight Soulja Boy over Butcher. Soulja Boy
he was about to lose over Butcher.
Larry, let me tell you something. You can get real creative with the power that he's got. Because technically, what he could have done, he could have grabbed Soulja Boy ass when he swung at him, teleported to like the top of Mount Everest, drop Soulja Boy, and then he teleports back somewhere else. Okay, you're done. You know, you can get real freaky with that power. On paper, because no one has really written it where it's menacing, but that teleportation power could be a mess, Larry. It could be a mess. But anyway.
If he depending on how fast he can teleport from one place to another, like how fast he can do it again. Like if he's able to teleport from one place and then like immediately teleport to another place, he could and theoretically grab him, teleport to over top of a volcano. Yep. Drop him up in there and teleport out before he hits the lava, and dude just goes down there. It's a possibility.
100%. 100%.
So,
but in the end, Mindbender gets Butcher and Larry. That's when we learned the more gravity of Butcher's family situation, man. Talk to me about that pissant of a dad. We knew his dad sucked last season, but we didn't know the gravity of how much his dad sucked till this episode right here. Talk to me about that, Larry.
Yeah, that's just pretty. The whole situation at home for him was just terrible, and I see why he feels a particular way about things, because he feels horrible about the fact that he left his brother behind, and then his brother wasn't strong enough to hack it like he did, you know. So I mean, he dealt with all the trauma that he was dealing with, and I understand on one level, he may have felt like his dad was beating him, and that was it's just a matter of inexperience and just not knowing. He felt like his dad was beating him because his dad didn't like him. He didn't realize his dad was beating him because his dad was a violent piece of trash. And if he left, violence was just gonna shift and go to somebody else. It was either gonna be his brother or his mom. And maybe if he had known that, maybe he would have stayed, you know, or maybe he would have taken his brother with him or something.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. What would you have him do differently, Larry? Because it's not right that he stay and keep taking the ass whippings, you know, like.
And he couldn't take his brother. He really couldn't take, because he joined the military.
Right.
He joined the service, so he couldn't. And and his brother was saying, like, you haven't called or written or anything. He was like, I couldn't. I couldn't leave the barracks. I couldn't come back. I couldn't do this, So it was like, I mean, there was really nothing he could have done unless they just became basically like runaways.
Exactly. Yeah, wasn't a lot left, many options, but.
I mean, I'll tell you though, the boy, I felt bad when I saw him go for the gun, because and I know this is probably not the way that people should think always, but I always figured if I ever got to the point where I wanted to kill myself, I'd rather kill my problem, like maybe I'll be in trouble, but I won't have that problem anymore.
That is the way a lot of people think, Larry. Instead of killing themselves, they think, I'm gonna kill the problem. That's a lot of people in jail over murder, my brother. A lot of people.
Yeah, they're alive to tell the tale. They may, it's unfortunate, but I don't know. I mean, it's crazy because this whole show. This is one thing I love about The Boys. When they make superhero shows, they always show them. It's usually this clear line of superheroes and villains, and in this show we haven't really seen any real villains because the superheroes are the villains themselves. It's just like they show how flawed everybody is. They show how much trauma everybody suffered. Like we see in that moment of Homelander, which I think they were trying to make us feel a little sad for him, but he's done so much terribleness it's hard to, where he's milking that cow and he's pulling the milk from the teat and drinking it, and he's experiencing that trauma because he wants to be fed. He wants to be nourished by a father
figure and a father figure.
Yeah, and he hasn't gotten that parental nourishment. And I mean, he's so desperate in that moment that he milks the cow.
Milks the damn cow. He really wants to go suck on the teat of a woman, but this is the lady that was supposed to be his mama. But she was just a plant. She was just a plant to raise him up because they knew he was going to be more powerful than the person they took his DNA from. And in the end, Larry, the Mindbender character, I wish they would have kept him alive, because technically he's powerful enough. He could have killed Homelander and he could have killed Soldier Boy if you can somehow or another get them to look him in his eyes. He could take them out. He could have took them out, but they wound up killing him. Huey got this man to agree to snap Butcher out of that endless nightmare. And the guy said Butcher's a piece of shit, but he did it anyway, Larry. He did it anyway. He did it anyway. And the minute he does that, he gets killed by Soldier Boy. Soldier Boy basically killed him the same way he tried to kill Black Noir, which leads me to Black Noir. Larry, did you like the... Hold. Oh, man. It's my fault. Buzz 703. Oh, man.
703.
What's going on, Buzz? He says, a little support. I've been absent for a while. Buzz, me too, man. I've been working on some other things. Kind of been away from YouTube. I'll be back to YouTube in full time in August. So bear with us. And for that super chat, my brother, I know you gets down with these politics, so you know which one you about to get.
I represent the rent is too damn high party. Playing the silly game. It's not going to happen. The rent too damn high movement. The people I'm here to represent can't afford to pay their rent. Listen, someone's stomach, child's stomach just growled. Did you hear it? Rent is too damn high.
I can't help but say this, Larry. If he would have won, he might still be governor of New York. What happened to the old governor of New York that was in that same clip with him?
You know, for real.
He's
real. Maybe he should run again. You never know.
The rent is really too damn high. And you can start another party called the gas is too damn high. You can start that party tomorrow too. And so, definitely. Larry, what did you think about Black Noir's backstory, man? They told us how he got into it with Soulja Boy, how they was all trying to gangbang Soulja Boy, and then Soulja Boy is the reason he wear a mask and can't hear because he burned half of his face, chopped open his head, pulled out a part of his brain. He created that drama on Black Noir, and now they did a cartoon illustration. I thought that was just brilliant. Just brilliant. Yeah. Those were the voices talking in Black Noir's head on screen. Talk to me about Black Noir, Larry. Love it.
Black Noir is that dude he is all kinds of messed up after that beating that he took.
Messed up.
You know, just and it's so interesting because he took that beating it basically because he tried to get rid of Soulja Boy. And then he's in hiding right now because he's hiding from Soulja Boy's son. You know? I mean, which is crazy. I mean, this dude cannot catch a break with that family. I mean, this is just,
Larry, do you think he knows? Do you think he knows?
I think he knows. I think he knows.
I think he knows too. I think he knows.
Because he's always been right there with Homelander. And Homelander was even shocked when he found out he left. He was like, nah, he wouldn't do that to me. That's my man's in them. Because he's always been right there with them. And I think he's always been there with them because maybe he's always tried to figure out like, hey, let's just, maybe if I keep him close, maybe I can control him, whatever. I don't know. But man, that dude's he's going to have both of them out there looking for him in a minute.
The sad thing about Black Noir, Larry, is you could easily see him in his situation joining the side of the boys and helping them out. Mm-hmm. I mean, the way you said you don't know who's really a hero, and the reason you don't know who's really a hero is because there's no precedent set for what is the right thing to do. Right. Because the heroes are doing things that are immorally wrong and breaking the law, but then so is the people trying to get the suit. So is Butcher. So is Mother's Milk. So is Kimco. So is Frenchie. So there's really no precedent set for what is supposed to be right and wrong, which makes it very difficult for you to figure it out. But at this point, this episode, we've seen a lot of people having kind of an awakening. Black Noir is the main one. Larry, I can see him turning into a good suit. He started out bad. He can't go back to Homelander. And when he finds out that Soulja Boy realizes Homelander is his kid, Homelander's not going to be helped. I mean, Soulja Boy's not going to be helping the boys. Black Noir might decide to go help them then, as we've seen with Maeve. Yeah, Maeve, Larry, has completely turned. She's helping the boys. She helped Starlight. She's the one that got the Compound V, the temporary version, to Butcher. So there's two people, Larry, that might wind up becoming heroes.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't be surprised if Black Noir ended up joining the boys, or at least helping them. Maybe not joining them, but at least helping them. Maeve, I think she's gonna get out of there. I don't know how.
Yeah, she's getting out.
I don't know how she's getting out, but I think she's gonna get out.
The boys gonna come get her. They're gonna have to. Yeah, they'll have to.
I wouldn't. Gosh, I would not be at all surprised if Homelander and Soulja Boy ended up fighting again. Like they're father and son, but I feel like Soldier Boy is such a piece of trash, and Homelander is so desperate, to maintain his status, that I could see them having a bit of a power struggle, even though they alluded to the fact that it may not, because even, they alluded to it that it may not happen, but they also alluded to the fact that it may, because at one point during this conversation, Soldier Boy said, the funny thing is, if they just would have told me about you, I would have let you, take my place. What father wouldn't want that? So he said, I would have just let you. But in that same statement, he made it sound as if they didn't tell me about you, and now I'm not letting you take it. Like, I would have let them do it if they just would have told me, but they didn't tell me, and so now it's on and cracking. And so,
Larry, I got to tell you, you know why they're going to wind up teaming up?
Tell me.
There's a fly in the ointment. Soldier Boy has a grandchild.
Right. That is true. And he's going to want.
That grandchild is probably going to be more. The grandchild going to be more powerful than Homelander. Yeah. He's probably going to be powerful enough to take on both of these two, and they both got egos the size of Trump Plaza.
Yeah,
which is fake egos, by the way. And they're gonna want to take their grandkid out, Larry. They're gonna want to take that grandkid out, and the grandkid is probably because the grandkid is gonna wind up aligning himself with Butcher. He looks at Butcher as his real dad.
Yeah, but he was real salty at Butcher when he last left. He was real salty with them.
But that wasn't the first time he's been salty with Butcher. Knows how to make up with that little boy.
Yeah.
Butcher is connected to that little boy the way someone else isn't, and he could get back in his good graces. But for the fact that this man has a grandkid who's very powerful, more powerful than Homelander, which means I don't want to say he's more powerful than Soldier Boy, because Soldier Boy has a power that can take away the power of these other people.
Yeah. That's kind of like the ultimate power right there.
Right.
Right. That's sort of like the ultimate power.
They could make it where the little boy is immune to it.
Yeah, that's possible.
I mean, Larry, there are so many different directions you can go with this thing. I'm keeping an eye on that. And I saved the best for last, Larry, because you would have done the same thing.
Before you go on, I think it was Muchella said the weed is making him paranoid. I don't think it's making him paranoid. I think Soldier Boy might be able to hear people's thoughts, because he keeps on asking people, what'd you say? But he's saying this, and like other people, right before he's getting ready to kill people, he's saying, it's like people, it's like as if people are telling him something and he's hearing it, but we don't hear anything. And I think he might be able to get in people's heads.
No, well, the last guy he killed was telling him that your son is Homelander. That's what the guy was telling him. Mindbender was telling him that. I do think that.
But I don't think he said it out loud.
Oh, okay. Well, he might not have said it out loud. I don't think he has that power, but I do agree with Moochie that weed is not good for him. And I mean, he's smoking it by the truckload. Do you hear me? I mean, the dump truckload, he's smoking it up. Left and right. Shout out to Moochie, her team, Miss K, that whole crew, Nita the Diva. Check them out. They do a good job. They are getting ready for Game of Thrones, and my wife then says she wants to come out of retirement. So we're going to be trying to do some Game of Thrones too, teaming up with them, get ready for it. Last but definitely not least in the boys' land, we got to talk about my boy Mother's Milk. First of all, love his t-shirt game, ladies and gentlemen. Love t-shirt game.
T-shirt game is on point.
On point. But Larry, you would have done the same thing he did.
Yeah.
This
I already know what you're talking about.
Baby mama's boyfriend took his daughter to a Homelander Republican ass rally.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't ask nobody.
Mm-mm.
And then gonna come back home and talking shit.
Yeah.
And
talk about he's been watching too much of the mainstream media. Talk about if you just stop listening to the mainstream media, you'll get the truth. Whew.
And did you hear what Mother's Milk said to him? Mother's Milk told him, right, you the idiot, dummy.
Yeah.
You don't understand that they're lying to you to keep you at bay. And that's what Fox News does on a regular, and got the nerve to call somebody else the mainstream media.
Right. But you know the thing that I loved about this with Mother's Milk, it wasn't like he was mad at the dude about his politics or anything like that. He was basically saying, look, Soldier Boy's out there. He's trying to find Homelander. And when they do, it's going to be a massive, big, bloody battle. And you put my daughter at risk by having her right in the middle of that situation. And it wasn't a matter of, I don't want you, I don't like your politics. I don't like Homelander. I don't think you should be doing this or shouldn't be doing that. You put my daughter in a dangerous situation. And that's what he was angry about. That's what I liked about that scene.
Exactly. For him, it was all about the safety of his kid. Period. He even told him, hell, you can go to that stuff all you want, but not with my daughter.
Right.
And then dude kept talking shit. And that's when he got decked. Only thing was he decked him good too. He did it, and now he's got to go explain it to the daughter because she was standing there watching.
I mean, and he hit him hard, but he pulled that punch. He did. He pulled that punch because that dude probably wouldn't even be alive today if he hit him with all his might. So.
Not today. Wow. So
but the daughter looked over at him. I'll be honest with you, that look she gave, she looked a little more confused than she looked scared. She didn't look like she was scared of her dad. She looked more confused. Like, why is this happening? But
no, I mean, I agree with that. But that's why I said that's exactly why I said he's got some explaining to do.
Yeah.
He's going to have to explain to her just exactly really what was you doing punching my stepdaddy, almost soon to be stepdaddy. Just punch. I mean, you just decked him. For what reason? Why? And I'm sure Mother's Milk has taught his daughter great lessons. They really just getting their relationship back patched up.
Yeah.
And now you come out here and you see him hitting, bruh. But he's gonna work it out. He's gonna work it out. And they've given him, man. I see why he turned down being on Power and all these other shows to stick with the boys.
Yeah, because this is a great show. Yeah, this is a much better show for him.
And they're giving him way more exposure to something that can transfer to the big screen in like the form of some kind of superhero, something like that. Because he's been acting his ass off on this show right here.
I fully expect that The Boys is gonna have a movie. Like, I don't know if it's gonna be like a Amazon Prime movie or if it's going to be a movie that goes onto the big screen, but I definitely feel like there's going to be a movie coming. And I don't know if it's going to be like a spin-off movie, like they're going to do like maybe a prequel or something, or maybe it's going to be a show, movie just about one of the characters, a deep dive or something. But I think there's definitely going to be a Boys movie coming.
It's not like they need me on the writing team, but literally, Larry, with all the characters on the show, you could do a series or a movie almost about all these characters.
Yeah.
Just about. You could literally do a movie. And here's a question that we answered, but we'll come back to it again. King David says, will Soldier Boy team up with Homelander? I gave a hypothesis. I said, hell yes, he's going to team up with him because Soldier Boy has a grandkid by Homelander, and that grandkid is going to wind up being stronger than both of them. And they're probably going to have to team up because neither one of those massive ass egos going to want to see someone stronger than them that can boss their asses around and tell them what to do. And they're going to wind up teaming up against their own son and grandson, who's going to team up with Butcher, who's now we're going to call him Compound V Butcher at this point.
I still think they're going to fight first. I think it's going to have to be one of those situations where they have to fight to a stalemate. And then, and then maybe they'll team up, but it could be that they team up first and then they fight, but there has to be a fight. There has to be a dominance fight between the two of them.
They already had it.
But it wasn't straight up though, because Butcher was there with them. Butcher was there fighting.
I mean, honestly, Larry, in a straight up fight, Homelander can beat Soldier Boy. There's no stalemate with them because either Homelander is going to kill him or Soldier Boy is going to open up his chest and do that beam and it's going to kill Homelander. There ain't no such thing as a stalemate between them two.
Yeah.
The only reason the last one was a stalemate was because Butcher jumped in.
Right.
But other than because look, think about that fight till Butcher got there. Homelander was choking your boy by the neck up against the wall. And I'm sitting here thinking, Homelander, don't you know dude chest can open up and blow you to smithereens?
Right.
You forgot about that? You just completely forgot while you sitting up there giving this dude a speech about you more powerful, blah, blah, blah. He could have just went on in and blew you up. So I don't see the only way it's going to be a stalemate, my brother Larry, is if they talk it into being a stalemate to go after the grandkid.
Yeah.
Because you know Soldier Boy going to want to see his grandkid.
I'll be honest with you too. I think something's going to happen. I would not be at all surprised if it turns out that either Huey and or Butcher end up with permanent powers. Like I wouldn't be surprised if it turns out that like maybe after they've been taking the temporary V, that they end up taking like the blue version of it instead of the green version, and then because they already have that green version in them, it actually kicks in and takes. So that because that was part of the problem is they gave people the blue version, they weren't strong enough to withstand it, and they ended up dying. But if you already have the temporary V in you to make you strong, then you get the blue version. Your body's strong enough. Your body theoretically should be strong enough to allow the blue version to take hold. So
Larry, that's in the theory video. If I was making theory videos, I would easily have said that. I do believe that they both are going to wind up. Probably they have to take the real one to save their life anyway, because they showed you what happens. Kimco lost her powers because of Soldier Boy. And Starlight brought her the blue vial, the compound V, and she got her powers back. Yeah. And probably to save the life of Huey and Butcher, they're probably going to have to officially, permanently become soups. Ain't nowhere around it.
That would be something else. Yeah, I'll tell you, I tell you, it'd be interesting if at this last episode, somehow, some way, Mother's Milk ended up having to take that V. That would be something else because he hates that stuff. He hates it with a passion. So if it turned out that he had, like, if it came down to like he had to take that V in order to save his daughter, I think that'd be the only way he would take it. But man, you talk about a person who would hate themselves every day afterwards. Boy, that would be interesting, especially if he took the blue stuff and became a permanent soup. You know?
Yes. Yeah. He gonna have to do what he gotta do though. So, ladies and gentlemen,
they could make him the Hulk though. He's like the strong one. They could make him the Hulk.
We have yet to see that power.
Yeah.
Really.
So
and that's definitely something you could put into the writing, man. Have them bulletproof and as strong as they'll make them stronger than Homelander. I mean, bruh. I need to get a check to be on that writing team because there are so many places you can go with this thing. Post your comments down below, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go to P Valley for the rest of our time. Let us know how you're feeling about The Boys. The final episode is next week, man. They only did 8 episodes.
It's heartbreaking, man. It's just heartbreaking.
It is. It's been so good. We've enjoyed it. But ladies and gentlemen, it's time to engage Big Larry for the next, I got about 7